Good morning, listeners the world around, or wherever the hell you are. Probably United States and Canada. Maybe.
Most likely.
Maybe some South Americans. I don't know. But either way,
I think there are a lot of listeners in Egypt.
Maybe. Either way, we are really, really glad to have you here. Thanks so much. This is Talking Winter with Swinter. My name is Ken Bogeman, Brent Frame, Jason Dungan. We're here.
Gonna have to redo that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, anytime now.
Nothing? All right. Brent Reeder, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Brent Reeder, the stunning, lovely, beautiful, and talented Brent Reeder.
Okay, now you're overdoing it.
Too much?
Yeah.
Too far? We'll draw the line back there just a little ways.
Name is enough.
Name is enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we are here at Swinter Group's world headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri. Which, I mean, we don't really have any other headquarters, but it just sounds fun.
Oh, we have our south office and
we do have a south office,
our east office,
a west office, an east office. We've got some locations around, but we are in the northeast penthouse of this particular building right here
on the top floor.
On the top floor,
we are moving on up.
That's right. Oh man, if I'd have had that queued up, that'd have been pretty good. Could have played that, but I didn't. Man, see, that's more time on show prep. Clearly, is necessary.
Yeah,
that's okay.
The problem is being as witty as I am. You can't really plan these things.
This is true. The spontaneous fun.
That's why I got to have a board with 300 different cues that you can pick from.
Yeah, I mean, so I've got 8 here, and I'm sure there's some way that I could make it more than that, but I don't really know. So, I mean, I could come over here and I got more over there. So, I mean, we can do some stuff. I don't think Jason's heard all of them yet. You know what? Well, right now the audience is doing. They're like, okay, seriously, dude, can we talk about something that matters, right?
Yep.
And then other ones, it's right over their head. Get that? That's really far over the head. But then
really far over.
Something that's just a little over the head. Cessnas.
Yep.
Because they can't go that high. And the rest of them are all.
That sounded rather fast for a Cessna.
Well, suckers move. They're fine.
Isn't speed relative anyway?
Yes.
This is true.
It is.
This is true. Yeah. Well, you know what does not move terribly fast? Snowblowers. Suckers are slower than, greased owl snot making its way down the side of super slow. Yeah.
But you know what doesn't go out when you're using a snowblower? Your back.
Well, that's true. That's true. So there are pros and cons to snowblowers. Oh my gosh, it's like that's what we're going to talk about today. Man, that was a pretty smooth segue.
Yeah, it was.
Just saying, we're getting the hang of this.
Just a little.
Yep, that's fine. Well, here we are talking about snowblowers. So, you know what I think is kind of cool about snowblowers?
They blow.
Fair. Take that however you'd like. Yep. Nicole, you all right over there?
I got to proofread a report, and I can't have you.
Oh, yeah. So Nicole, who is the highly educated, intelligent, smart person of the group, she proofreads stuff for us, and so she's got a report she's got to proofread, and we're over here talking about.
Well, this was her idea, and she's going to block it out.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's fine. So anyway, she's going to go off to work and pay the bills. Thank God. So the rest of us can sit here and talk about snowblowers. So no, what I think is really cool about snowblowers is that they are a very, very, very useful tool in most conditions, but not all. And I think that if you're in deeper snow markets, man, they are so nice to have because you can just walk right along and zoop, off goes the snow.
Yep.
Now, I think that what is one of the most fun things about snowblowers is watching people throw the snow into just dumb places.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're cruising along and you've got all this grass off to the side, but nope, you're going to yeet that snow right out into the parking lot that just got plowed. Awesome. Good thinking.
It's almost like you saw the same thing I saw 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yep.
You had this whole grass area you could have thrown it, but no, you chose the perfectly clean parking lot.
Yep. So let's start with that. Whether you're running a single stage or a multi-stage or whatever it is you're running, your snowblowers have the ability to direct where that snow goes. So
no, it's fixed.
What?
I'm kidding.
No, it's God. Come on, dude.
I'm trying to give these guys a benefit of the doubt, but there's not much there.
Right. So take it. So when you're working with your crews, or if you're on a crew, look at that piece of equipment and figure out how to change where you're throwing that snow to. So when you do throw the snow, it goes someplace that's actually out of the way and you don't have to move it again. That's a big deal, right? So
Yeah, who wants to move snow twice?
Right. I mean, unless you're being paid by the hour.
That's what I was going to say.
In which case, well, hopefully you're able to find new accounts as well, because eventually that's going to come to an end.
Yep.
Yeah. What was that?
What was that?
Your computer made noise.
Is that my computer coming through here?
Something.
Well, that's fun. All right, neat. Well, whatever. Okay. So anyways, so figure out where, how to work the thing, and then, do some training on where you want to put the snow so you're not putting it someplace you have to move it more than once. That's the whole key there. Throw it someplace where it's out of the way and you don't have to move it again. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing I like about snowblowers is that you can work longer. Yes, it's not as quick as running a shovel, but if you're doing a long duration storm, saving energy is going to be really important.
Yep.
And if you're doing, like most of these guys with standard run-of-the-mill shovels, that's back-breaking work after a very short amount of time.
It's a young man's game.
For sure.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of people who are not young out doing it.
Right.
And single-stage snowblowers are probably one of the best to have in the general toolbox.
That was something that I was kind of surprised when we were in Nebraska a few weeks ago, is how many little like Toro single-stage snowblowers I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, they were positively everywhere.
And they do a good job. I mean, there's a place for the two-stage, without a doubt, but they're much slower, and they're a lot more cumbersome.
They're slower, they're more cumbersome, and they're so heavy to move. Yeah. It takes
two people to take it off a truck.
Yep.
It does.
Yeah, one person can pick up a single-stage snowblower and go to work.
Yes.
Unless you've got a lift gate or a ramp or something.
Yeah.
It takes a crew just to get that machine out to where you're going.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's something, if you're on a dedicated site where you're going to roll that snowblower out of a garage or out of a shipping container and you're going to use it there and only there, well, now that makes all kinds of sense to have maybe a bigger two-stage, more powerful machine that can throw it a little further, do a little better job.
Yeah. And you don't have to actually physically push the two-stage. It travels on its own.
The
single stage, you got to push it like a broom.
Yeah. Yep. And then you got to kind of shove it into the snow pile and it's going to throw it out. I mean, it's going to take a little longer. So the single stage, if you're moving an inch or two of snow,
it's
single stage is just fine. I mean, that's absolutely just fine.
I would say over 4 inches, the single stage is really going to show it's getting bogged down. But we're up there in Omaha or Lincoln. That was almost a foot of snow those guys were moving with that single stage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And well, I mean, it certainly took them a while. I mean, they had to, they had to kind of, they couldn't just start walking and walk at a consistent pace. You had to chip away at it.
Yeah, they had to slow down and then
Right.
only take half of a width just to keep from bogging it down.
Yeah. Yep. And then,
But
yeah, no, so I guess that's kind of where we're going with that, guys, is analyze what your route looks like and analyze what kind of work you need to do and analyze what market you're in. I mean, if most of the events that you have are going to be, 6 or 8 inches of snow or less, and you're very mobile with your route, man, single stage snowblower is going to be the way to go for you. But if you're in a market that's going to, 5 to 8 to 10 or 12 inches of snow is pretty common, and you're going to be on a dedicated site, well, now that's a no-brainer. You can go with a 2-stage. It's going to be a little bulkier, a little better for you for that. But you got to, like anything else, match the tool to the job.
Oh, absolutely.
Or buy one of each and just have them ready to go.
But then when do you go to the tracks versus tires?
Okay, see, now we're getting into the cool stuff, right? So when you have the track machine, that's when you're working in like an area with lots of wildlife, and you're hoping to see a squirrel come running in front of you.
How is that relevant?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
I don't even know.
I just got this image of a squirrel running into a snowblower.
I mean,
I did not see you going there. I thought you were going to say you would just turn your discharge chute to throw snow on the squirrel.
Well, see, that'd be mean. Poor little squirrel. Little buddy. He's just out there tramping around trying to find some nuts.
Yeah, that's mean.
He's just hungry and
sucking it up
cold.
and spray painting the snow wasn't.
It's not mean for long.
I am absolutely gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked. Oh man!
I've seen the places I've seen the tracks right, and we see them for sale here in Missouri, and people buy them. But the only place I've seen that it's actually necessary to have that tracks is on a very deep snow markets where guys are having to climb up the snow piles to chip away at it to get down to pavement. The tires won't do that very well, but nothing down here in the Midwest requires that.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
If you're on if you're on a property that has some type of a walking path that you need to clear, that would be a spot for tracks. If you're on a non-paved surface that you're trying to get snow off of, that might be a spot where the track might be handy.
I'm trying to picture how you would do that without sucking up everything.
Well, I mean, just rolls along the top of the ground and throw in the snow.
Yeah.
Is that where the bunny rabbits
Yeah.
burrowed down trying to stay warm? Poke your head up. What's
you're
that?
on a mission to murder something today.
No. It's morning, man. We usually do this in the afternoon. So
Yeah, I know, but
trying to spice it up a little bit. Wow. So, are you all right over there? Coughing or sneezing? Coughing, sneezing. Oh, sneezing. There it is.
let's
Feel better?
narrate this whole event.
Man, you know what? Thank you for not sneezing towards us and all over the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My main concern there was not germs, it was the listeners.
Very good. Well, you know what? They appreciate it as well.
I'm sure.
That was a hefty sneeze, though.
It was.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. So, okay. Maybe we got off track. I'm sorry.
Just a little.
We were talking about tracks, though. So, off track, talking about tracks, might be on track.
It
Too much coffee?
cannot argue with that logic.
I'm just saying. See? That's how we stay focused here.
Yeah. So what else we got about tracks? I mean, we got the big tracks or blowers. You got the big blowers on tractors, but that's just really cool.
Now you're getting okay. So we're working
Inverted
towards the
blowers.
notes. Yeah. So now so as we work up in the size of blowers, right? So have you seen like rotary plows that go on the front of trucks?
Yes.
I mean, those are pretty bitchin' too. For they're cool to look at and they're kind of fun to watch do work. I don't think I'd want to have one though.
They look really heavy.
Can you imagine the maintenance nightmare?
Oh my god!
Well, don't they have a power pack and everything? It's completely separate.
Oh yeah, usually it's got its own. But there was a guy that worked for us. This goes back years and years ago, out in the middle of nowhere in Illinois, that had a rotary plow, and that's what he used for clearing parking lots. And he just drop that thing to the ground, drive forward, and push all the snow off to the other side.
It had to be so slow.
Oh my god! And I was talking to him like, how do you do that effectively with time? He's like, well, it takes a while, but it does a really good job. I'm like, okay.
I bet my plow does just as good.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that he did say that I mean, I didn't necessarily think it mattered that much, but that you don't have big snow piles. You're not pushing the snow to a pile point. You're pushing.
Oh, there's definitely
a field.
an advantage to having it, but I don't see it as a primary tool.
No.
I see it as you got the windrow to the edge of the parking lot, but the plow can't get it any further, and you need to push it back for
Right.
future events. Oh, that blower is amazing for that.
Yep.
Push that pile back, suck up a couple pushes, and
Yeah. Bushes, trees, squirrels.
dear Lord.
There it is. I'm telling you, man, it's a real
Are we
thing.
going to go squirrel hunting when we're done with this?
Maybe. They're not in season yet. Can't do it.
Oh, they're not?
Nope. Yep.
They are
I
if
don't
you
think
use
so.
a snowblower.
Yeah, that's fair. Bad. Yep. Oh, you can go.
It's not deer season, but I almost got 3 this morning. So
Did you? There you go. With the truck.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So you know what else is pretty cool? If you're out there listening and you're sitting at a computer, I'm going to give you something to look up. But first, you're going to go to Twitter @SwinnerSnowTalk and give us a follow. Or you're going to email us at podcast@swinnergroup.com with what you want us to talk about. Or you can text us at 314-260-4352 because we'd really like to hear from you. But if you're not going to do any of that, go to YouTube and search for, train snowblower or train rotary plow or anything like that. And some of the videos of these trains that have got to go through snowpack on the rails where the snow is deeper than the train is tall. Man, those are some cool machines. Right? Have you ever seen that stuff?
Yeah.
You know what else does a good job blowing a lot of snow?
Man, that's a little open-ended. Helicopters?
Yeah. Twin engine helicopters.
Yeah. Have you ever landed in snow?
Yeah. So it's
talk about that.
But it
that's
just
awesome.
throws it everywhere. It makes a mess.
So two conditions that helicopter pilots, as they're coming in for landing, really dislike: brownouts and whiteouts. Brownout is
Whiteout sounds more fun.
well, almost. So brownout is when you're coming in, and typically it's a desert area or somewhere with almost no vegetation, almost no rain. And as you come down towards the earth, you get into ground effect. Suddenly you find yourself in zero visibility, but yet you still have to continue in with your landing.
Well, eventually you're going to get there, though.
Oh, ground is there.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
the ground's there.
Yeah, yeah.
I've always said, takeoffs are optional, landings are not.
Fair, yeah.
Um, so, so brownout is when you're coming in, and typically it's a desert area or somewhere with almost no vegetation, almost no rain. And as you come down towards the earth, you get into ground effect. Suddenly you find yourself in zero visibility, but yet you still have to continue in with your landing. Well,
Okay.
So we would go to the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California, which is basically in Death Valley, and that's where we trained and learned how to do a brownout landing, so that when you go to Iraq or Afghanistan or somewhere like that and you have to land, it's not a surprise. It's not your first time, and you know how to do it.
All of which are good.
All of which are good. So as a pilot, I was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas, which is up in northeast Kansas, and we got some good amount of snow. And just because there's snow on the ground, airfield's been cleared. Pilots still have to train. Pilots still have to maintain their currency. And a whiteout landing is one of those things you have to practice.
And I got to believe that you can't see a damn thing once you get anywhere near the ground if there's snow all over the place.
No. So the major difference between the brownout and the whiteout landing is after you land from a brownout landing and you come back to flat pitch or maybe even idle, you can see again. The dust clears away and, oh, wow, there's everything. You come in after a whiteout landing, you land, get your rotors to flat pitch, maybe even pull the engine back to idle. You still can't see anything.
Well, it's because you got the dude. You got some dude with a snowblower there laughing his ass off, throwing the snow all towards the helicopter. Yeah. They can't get out.
Yeah. But what's really cool is you do a couple runs, couple practice landings, takeoffs, and as you circle back around, you look at the ground, you're like, holy cow, here's a clear spot. It just happens to be 48 feet in diameter.
Let me guess, that's the rotor width.
That's the rotor diameter.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a lot wider than I expected.
Yeah, that's a pretty big. That's a pretty big. Yeah.
So that's it's a circle, of course.
Yeah.
Well, once they get to spinning at full speed, it's a circle.
Right.
Other than that, it's just 4 straight lines.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, all right. So there's something. How do you? I wonder if you could economically employ helicopters to clear snow.
Absolutely not.
No.
Man, it'd be cool though.
It would be.
And I will go back to the exact reason that I just talked about is once you get low enough to the ground to get into ground effect to be able to effectively move the snow, you can't see anymore.
So it'd have to be really big parking lots with no light poles.
Yeah, good luck finding that.
Yeah, that's true.
And a really, really good GPS system.
Light poles are expensive enough, but taking a couple prop or rotor blades.
Oh, well, and then you got that'd be bad. All right, so no helicopters for snow clearing. Okay.
Unfortunately.
It'd be neat though.
I mean, Hollywood could make it happen.
Well, that's true. Hollywood can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, that's fine.
So now we're even further off track.
We sure are. So yeah, snowblowers, because that's what we're talking about, right? So you know what is something else that is a downside to snowblowers though, is that it is another engine that has to be maintained. It's one more thing that you have to take care of. One more thing you got to change oil on. One more thing you got to make sure it's clean, make sure it's PM'd, make sure it's ready to go. And so you can't just at the end of the season throw that thing in the back of the shop and then expect to fire it up in the fall and it's working just like it should.
Right.
You got to take care of it. So there's some maintenance costs there. So
are you saying that prior to the first event of the year, you should check your equipment?
I know it's crazy. We talk about that a lot.
More importantly, when you're putting it away, you should put it away in a manner that it will function in the next season.
Oh, I'm kind of new to all this.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't aware that was a.
Yeah. Maintenance is a big deal. Yep. Definitely one thing to be
But
good.
it saves you a lot of money in the long run.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Now, how do you get, okay, so here's something. So let's say you got a plow and you got a V-box in the bed of the truck, right? And you got to get, if you're using shovels, it's generally pretty easy. There's room, in front of the spreader or the side of the spreader or whatever to toss a shovel. Not the same case for snowblowers.
You just got a flatbed truck, you got plenty of room.
You just put it in the cab.
Let's put it in the cab.
I've seen guys, if you don't have a flatbed, I've seen guys make these contraptions that they can hang it off the front of the plow.
Yep. I've seen those.
Seen that. I've seen them where they have something they can hang it on the back of the spreader. That's
where I was going. Is to me, I think hanging anything off the front of a truck is a bad idea. But I think that if you've got on the back of your spreader to one side or the other, you put some brackets up there where you could hang it and then strap it on. That really makes it a very easy on and off, very very good way to do that. You just got to make sure that you have it secured in such a manner that as you're bouncing down the road, because it's beyond. I mean, when it's snowing, you wind up with snow moguls everywhere, and that hard pack, ice and snow, your truck bounces more than it normally would. You got to make sure that thing doesn't fall off of there. But yeah, hanging it on the back of the spreader with some type of bracket setup is a really good way of doing that.
Yeah, we used to run a 2-stage snowblower, and we had it on a flatbed truck. It was a pain in the butt. We got it on there, and it took 2 people to get it on and off of the truck.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, and the biggest problem we had is that the snowblower would get wet, which you think, why is that a problem? Well, if it gets wet in the wrong spot from driving down the road, it won't start.
well, yeah, yep.
So if you're going to haul them, you got to make sure that engine's covered. Now, the
Yep.
single stage ones, the engine's covered by design, but 2-stage, it's wide open.
Yeah, and it can freeze up pretty quick.
Yeah, something about the electrical system was getting wet, and I couldn't get any spark, and brand new snow blowers wouldn't work.
Boy, I bet that was frustrating.
Yeah, because we bring it back to shop, and the next day, and the guy's like, it never worked, and I pull it one time, it'd start. I'm like, what seems to be the problem, fellas?
Right.
But yet, every time we sent it out, it would never function. It was a painful lesson.
Yeah, that's true. So that might be a good tip too. Is if you're buying a new piece of equipment, try to find somebody that has that same piece of equipment and ask them for pro tips.
Yeah,
You know?
might save you some time.
Yeah, and if generally the dealer that you buy it from, they probably know somebody else that bought one, unless
you bought it from Lowe's like I did, then they don't know anything.
well, that's true. But you certainly know who Ron Swanson is, right?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that's one of my favorite Ron Swanson
Is
clips.
he your role model?
He's 100%. Walking through the hardware store and somebody comes up and, excuse me, sir, can I help you? You just, no, I know more than you.
I feel like that a lot.
Yeah.
And
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we're some knowledgeable dudes though.
Sure.
yeah, but when you ask someone for help, and you realize instantly that was a mistake, because they are going to do their best to help you, but they know nothing.
Fair.
Like, well, it should be in this section. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm standing here. But it's obviously not.
Yeah. Okay. So for better or for worse, Walmart's app is pretty awesome. So if you shop at Walmart, get their app and you can search for whatever it is you're looking for and it'll tell you what aisle in the store it's in.
I do that with Lowe's.
Lowe's has that same app?
Yeah.
Or something like
Home
that?
Depot. It'll give you the aisle and bay number.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The
spectacular.
aisle and bay is very important because sometimes you just don't know where it's going to be at
Yeah.
or if it even exists.
Yeah.
And then you're like, which store am I at? Okay, now go to this aisle.
Okay, so we're going to get off topic a little bit here. But something that I thought was kind of interesting was I was in Denver earlier this week doing some site inspections, and I noticed there were so many restaurants and businesses there that we also have here. Like, shoot, there was a realty, a real estate company that sells residential real estates that had an office there that I thought was a kind of a local mom and pop here, and down to, everything. Like, the world is getting so small.
Yeah.
That's
And it's the rich at the top are buying everything.
yeah, that's fine. Jason, you all right? You look a little upset.
I'm confused.
So, anywho's, but yeah, no, I just thought that was interesting is on how small of a world it is, which, I don't know, whatever.
Listen, podcasts make the world small.
That's true. That's true. On the next episode, which will be here shortly, we'll talk about where our listenership is because I can look and see where people are listening.
Really?
I think, at least I could at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, we had folks in Japan and Russia listening, kind of all over the globe. There were downloads.
And see, and since I said podcasts make the world small, and since we do such a good job of being descriptive, we don't need a camera in here.
No,
As the listener, in your mind's eye, you can see where we are.
that's right. That's right. All three of us sitting here with microphones and Nicole over there doing all the work.
Typical.
She's listening. She
Someone's
waved.
got to.
That's right. Fair enough. All right. Are we going to anything else on snowblowers or should we let the people go?
There is not a lot to go over there.
There's not a lot to go over there, but they are cool. They're a great tool for the right scenario. So, all right. Well, then you know what we can do? We'll let the good people go.
Bye.
Man, well, not quite that fast. You got to cuddle a little bit before you head home. Jeez, dude.
My 30 seconds was over.
So, man, we are talking Winter with Swinter. I'm Ken Bogeman, Brent Reeder, Jason Dungan, all hanging out here. If you'd like to give us some information, contact us. Shoot us a text, 314-260-4352. You can email us at podcast@swintergroup.com or hit us up on Twitter @SwinterSnowTalk. Any of those ways, we would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.